Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight we start a series of videos showing the build of the D-Gray Drafting and Design heavy-duty knurling toolkit. This is the latest kit. It's just come out early May 2022. This is a heavy-duty scissor-style knurler for your lathe. It comes as a kit. This is a little bit of an exploded view. You can see here the side cover plate has been pulled away so you can see the interior. We'll be making all these individual parts for the knurler. Here's the kit contents page showing you all the materials that come with the complete kit, or if you want to supply your own round stock, the other items are included in the partial kit along with the drawing package. Tonight in particular, we are going to start with the plates, the body plate, the arm plates, and the cover plates, a total of 7 plates. Link to the kit in the description. These are my drawings. I shall not lose them. I've put my initials in the word working, as in working copy of the drawings, on the front cover. And I've just made some notes on I'm working with a set of inch drawings here. You can specify when you purchase if you'd like inch or metric. I'm using a set of inch drawings, and I've just made some notes about the metric dimensions so I can pass those on. The plates come directly off the laser table. There's soot and schmutz, and so the first thing I'm going to do is use some acetone and give them a wipe down with acetone or some other thinner. Okay, so I've got them all wiped down. There's a slight burr all around the edges and a more major burr where the laser starts and stops. I'm just going to take a fine stone and remove all those burrs. The laser cut edges are very hard. You may want to step to your grinder just to get rid of that one major burr where the laser starts and stops. Generally speaking, I'd say stay away from the grinder on these parts. If you'd like, if you have a lot of mill scale on your particular plates, you can do the vinegar, soak them overnight in vinegar, and that will remove all the mill scale. There, 3 minutes of with the fine stone, and that's pretty much got that particular plate. I'll do the rest of the plates and I'll bring you back. Okay, we've got all our plates deburred. They sit nice and flat on my anvil here, so that tells me that they are indeed nice and flat, and it's a good way to tell if you've missed an area. They're pleasant to the touch now. We'll leave our arm plates aside for now. We'll address our here's the body plate. I'm simply going to use the laser etched center marks, and I'm going to center punch. Looks good. I'm wearing an optivisor magnification. That one looks good too. The position of those holes is not critical. If your arms are, say, 20 thousandths closer together or farther apart, it doesn't matter. And the cover plates here, these are just clearance holes for the screws. The etching allows you to actually, you can catch your center punch, catch your center punch in those, in the etching. So we're done with these for now. We'll turn our attention to the arm plates. Here's an arm assembly. It's got 4 different holes through it. You can see that this lobe on top, eventually that will get milled away, but we're going to put a hole right through the center of that lobe. We'll use our lasers etched center marks again. 2 arm assemblies. It doesn't matter exactly where these holes fall. If the spacer pin is 20 thousandths out one way or the other, it doesn't matter. But we want pairs. We need pairs. For ease of assembly and for smooth operation, these 2 arms have to stay parallel to each other. So the first thing we're going to do is identify the pairs. One punch for the upper arm assembly and 2 punches for the lower. We're going to glue these together and gang drill them. So we have our arms paired up. We're going to gang drill them with them glued together, so we only have to do our center punches on 2 plates. We'll set the other 2 aside for now. I'm going to center punch it just the same way as I did before. I'm wearing my optivisor, and I'm trying to feel for those etched lines. I can actually catch. I'm going to go down a size and center punches. I can actually catch my center punch in that etch. which is awesome. There, that's it. Okay, we'll pair them up again. Double mark for the lower, single mark for the upper. We have our outside ones center punched. If you don't have, I call it a bench anvil. It's just a slug of steel. It makes all the difference working on this as opposed to just a wooden bench. It's night and day. Get yourself something nice and solid. Actually, I'm just going to take a bigger center punch and just get a more definite center mark. Our marks here are nicely positioned. I'm just going to beef them up a bit. Okay, time to glue our sets of arms together. I have this elaborate setup here, which is more elaborate than it needs to be. I just wanted to be able to, I've created a corner here, 1, 2, 3 block, big V block, parallel. I've created a corner here where I can slide my two arms into that corner and get good alignment. This is thick CA. Works good. Make sure your surfaces are flat and clean. Our center punch marks where we've raised that material on top. We'll just tuck everything into the corner here. Then we'll go for coffee and let that set up. Before we do any drilling, we'll leave it overnight, but we can move it and do the next one within, say, 20 minutes. You're safe. Okay, let's see how we did. It's been about 20 minutes since we glued them up. They look to be well aligned. So I'm going to clean up my setup here, and we'll do this second set. Single-sided razor blades and a quick wipe with some acetone. We'll be back in business. Our center marks on the top. Thick CA. There we have it. Just tuck them both into the corner. Let them sit overnight. All right, it's the next day. alignment on this one looks real good as well. So we have all our plates prepared. Let's go over to the mill. My mill is a mill drill. If you just have a drill press, you can use that. Okay, we are at the mill now, the mill drill. I have my drilling pallet in my vise. I know that this is nice and perpendicular to the spindle. I've got grooves machined in the underside of it so it sits on top of my jaws and is nice and perpendicular. I have a 60-degree point on a pin here that's been hardened. That is a multi-purpose tool that I wouldn't be without. We have a clearance hole in our drilling jig. I'm going to bring the pin, we'll start with the body plate. That pin is now centered in our center punch divot. 3-inch machinist clamp. That's a kit that's available at my store. Link in the description. A tool maker's clamp. It's another kit available at the store. There we have it. It's well secured. The drawings tell me that we're looking for a 3/8 ream in this hole, or 9 millimeters if you're building the metric version. So we'll just work up. So center drill, pilot drill, ream size, and finally reaming. We'll start with the center drill. Give her a little love. Pilot drill. Okay, pleasantly uneventful. Of course, we'll do the other hole the same way. I'll do that off camera. I'll bring you back when I'm set up to do the cover plates. Just a note that I'm set up on my vise here with only the drill bits that I'll be using. There's no other miscellaneous stuff kicking around here. We do not want to make a mistake. We do not want to do the wrong size hole in here. So I'm set up here for the body plates. When I change over to the cover plates or to the arm plates, I will remove everything and get organized again. Okay, we're on our cover plates now. Again, I've used my pin to locate the work. I've got my cover plate clamped down. I'm going to do a bit of a center drill. The cover plates are clearance holes for the button head screws. I'm going to be doing 13/64, or if you were doing the metric version, it would be 5mm for the 5mm screws. There you have it. I'm finding I need to deburr the backside in between. This won't sit down nice otherwise. A quick deburr with this is a Noga brand tool, which I quite love. Okay, 3 more. I'll bring you back when we're ready to do the arm plates. Okay, we're ready to start our arm plates now. There's 3 different sizes of holes in the arm plates. We're going to do one size at a time. I have on my vise here all my equipment for doing a 1/4 inch ream. I've put all my other toys away so that there's no chance of getting mixed up. It would be tragic at this point to drill an oversized hole. So same procedure. I really like this pin system. Works very well for me. Pin it in place. Machinist clamp. We're starting with the 1/4 inch reams, or if you're building the metric version, 6mm. If you don't have reamers of this size, just do what you can with drill bits. Work up slowly, get well sharpened bits, do the best you can. Center drill first. I should have that clamp a little closer. There we go. Center drill. Pilot drill. The 64th under the 1/4 inch for the reaming size. And finally we'll slow it down a bit for our ream. Give her lots of love. There we have it. Again, I probably have a burr on the bottom side of that now, so I will have to deburr before I move on to the next hole. Yes, I can feel it already. My Noga there we are. So I will do the remaining 1/4 inch ream in this arm and the 2 over here. This one is 1/2 inch or 12.5 millimeters, and this one is 3/8 or 9 millimeters. So I'm going to do them all one at a time. I'm not going to mix up my stuff here so that I can keep everything organized. I'll bring you back when I've drilled all these holes. Because reaming is so cool and so much fun, I now present 4 reams in 1 minute. Okay, we'll give her some love here. This is the 3/8 for the hinge pins, or 9 millimeter. Okay, the last ream. Alright, so we have our upper arm set here and our lower arm set. When we assemble these, we want the same orientation. We want these two surfaces to be the outside. So I'm just going to give myself a center punch mark here. When I assemble my knurling tool, I will ensure that those marks are on the outside. We're almost done. Our next job is to tap holes in this in the end of the arm here to retain the wheel pins. Time to separate our arms. So I have one arm in the vise, and I'm going to give this a shock with a brass drift. There we go. Just like that. Our thick CA glue worked great. It held together nicely for us when we needed it, and now just a sharp wrap will separate them. Boom. Okay, I'll bring you back when we're set up for threading. Okay, I've got my arm plate in the vise. We're going to find center in the Y direction using that lobe on the arm. 1000 RPM roughly. Loud noise coming. Ouch. Zero. And Y half on the DRO. Bada bing. If you don't have a DRO on your mill, budget for it or go out and get yourself one, because it'll completely change the way you use your milling machine. Backlash is a thing of the past. Never have to worry about it again. Okay, now I'm going to rotate on the back of this jaw here. Right there, that is positive 0.1 in the Y direction, or in the Z direction. Z.1, enter. This, the tip on the center finder is 2/1000, so the center of the center finder is 1/1000 away from that edge. This Starrett number 827B. Just a beautiful tool to work with. So I have a parallel in my jaws, between my jaws. I'm making sure that it's sitting upright, not cocked over. Only room for one, so it's possible for it to tip over and not be 100%. That's just to hold it up out of the, so we can see what's going on. I've put a felt tip mark at roughly the location of our hole. I'll use my pin again. So my knurled collar has a set screw as well as just an additional hole here for a Tommy bar. I'm using the drill bit as a Tommy bar. Slow progress, but be sure and advance the guide as well. I think it's getting a little easier now. There we go. Just like that. Three more times. I'll do that off camera. You want to run your reamer or your drill bit through there again to remove any burrs produced by that threading. There we have it. I'll do the other three and bring you back. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we've completed our plates. As far as we want to take them right now, there's a little bit more to do. We'll touch on that later. There's our two cover plates, our body plate, and our arms for our upper arm assembly and for our lower arm assembly. We've managed to precision drill these into matched sets. These holes are going to be 100% in line, particularly when you take advantage of these dimples we made to indicate the outside of the pair. I wanted to show you a closer look at this topping collar. Normally it's up higher on the shank, but with this tough material I've moved it down onto the shank. The set screw goes between the flutes of the top, and I took advantage of this hole to use a Tommy bar. Once we had done that tapping, I just ran a reamer through the wheel pin hole just to clean up any burrs from that thread. So that does it for this video on the preparation of the plates. Get yourself down to the store and get yourself a kit if you don't have one already, so that you can follow along. Be sure and subscribe, like, and comment on the video. Next we'll be working on some of these pins. I recently purchased a diamond tool holder from Eccentric Engineering in Australia. It's an interesting lathe tool, a lot of fun to use. We'll be using that whenever possible for the rest of the build, for the lathe work. Take care, have fun, enjoy your shop time. Thanks for watching.